Well, I have to make this video. I'm gonna be real. I'm the enemy of your social population a certain type of way because when a person learns mythology and metaphysics and they start going about their life to go I guess is increasing their life a certain type of way to the higher third eye. I'm married to the real empresses, is my real wives, but you have your social population that's causing divorces. So, through the mythology realm of filtering and other situations, you have other empresses with spoiled emotions that end up coming out in the filter process, and it be over because their neuroactivity of their anatomy done vibrated so much that they're spoiled. So there's no saving them any time in the paradigm. So it's just like if you have somebody at the time, that's socially voting. Like, look at Haiti. When I was there, there was an earthquake because I refined the habitation of the social habitation, and I refined it. But you had individuals that was spoiled, and that was causes deterioration when it came to the physics of the physical at a time that was, I guess, some broke the oaths of honor, some caused deterioration for the humanity of their operations of natural humanity, and then some did certain other things. So certain things happen a certain type of way. But I wasn't the only one that caused the how can I say this, the earthquake, because if I have a refinement of intimacy with somebody and somebody takes a vow or something, and then my wife increases the habitation of their power a certain type of way, it caused that person to be destructive the way they wanted to be destructive, because there was probably somebody out the social point, somebody in the social point of the legacy or lineage that destroyed individuals because they wanted to show their power a certain type of way. They were being secretive about it. But not only did I refine and refine the the physical humanity of the star chart a certain type of way, they were very destructive before a certain time when it came to the Mushu star chart. And then you might have had individuals that was there that may have did certain things to individuals in the social economic system. So the day they were increasing their power, that they were very destructive to the things that they already carried out, little intricate things in physics. So that caused the detrimentalness to probably some other innocent people, that certain people shouldn't have got hurt. And then they probably looked at me as me refining them to increase the power. They probably looked at me like I caused certain things, but I refined the anatomy, and me refining the anatomy destroyed the deterioration of the decrease of the disease or the viruses when it came to certain legacies and lineage, to the point where I refined. So the buildup of another individual through time is just like a person going up steps or working and doing little work all over the place that was real destructive, that caused the earthquake and the outcome a certain type of way. And then on top of it, my wife being part of the island and the habitation, and overall, her anatomy vibrated on such a peak that I refined her habit of the legacy and lineage of the star chart. So that's what also a part of it. So, but the destructive part, it had to have been somebody carried out, because when you learned about physics and metaphysics, it was somebody that carried out a destructive and a certain type of way that caused certain things. But I'm gonna just say, through time, you have people even doing things to even me and my family, where your social population tried to demoralize family members that I had, and tried to turn them against me, where they wore out their emotions so much fighting to try to keep an individual in survival. and then this grew tired because they're wearing out the emotions, because another person just wants to be married to my wife and she's my literal wife, but they don't want me. It's just like when I was injured and certain things happened to me, my caretakers and international security was supposed to come to me to make sure everything was okay with me, but instead they let a social population, at the time, it's supposed to be reversal, where they're supposed to see their mistake that they made and stop the social populating from deteriorating or causing any more stress or demoralization a certain type of way when it comes to my physics and in my humane existence in a physical reality. But you had individuals that was trying to manipulate the forms of physics, so they didn't want a person doing anything so they could take over the social economic system and cause the end of the existence, just like they did to Haiti. Because if you look at individuals, they want things, but they don't want to increase in doing certain things in life. They just want to work towards destructive, because you got to remember the Mushu star chart was over there, and then you had individuals that just wanted to send people away, because that was what their star chart was about, because the physics that they learned was a form of demoralizing. They had to live in their own habitation to know the increase of the more wonderful things of life, and they were part of a calendar named Era. The overall calendar was Era. There was nine calendars in the calendar of Era, and that's what they learned because it was a calendar of light. So individuals try to manipulate the physical form and the aspect of it because that's all they know. So they just work off all they know. So it's just like knowing a certain trade, and like a mechanic could destroy a car and then cause you to continue coming and spending money so he can finance his business. If you got a good mechanic, he just fix your car once, it wouldn't matter. But then you have some individuals that destroy the car so much they have you coming back because you don't want to go somewhere else and you think it's cheaper just to go somewhere, and then all they're doing is just demoralizing the situation and then just trying to take their finances. But that was the mentality of Mushu, a certain in the Mushu calendar. That was a certain mentality of individuals in Mushu based at a certain place in the social habitation. And the reason why Mushu was in Haiti, because they were used to chase individuals that was non-wanting to the island away, even though they were educated at a point of certain areas, at a point just to learn their social habitation of the reason of their humanity. So they were kept there a certain type of way to deter individuals from invading the island even at a time. So some of them in the past, but they were supposed to go to their own social habitation because they have their own social planets also. But, probably people took advantage of that. They didn't want certain destructive people there. And then, they reconditioned and kept whatever they kept there and then caused the situation through the paradigm of time. And then they just demoralized the rest of the time. And then you see how Haiti is, like it never progressed to do anything wonderful. It was just... it was supposed to be a wonderful island that progressed and did certain wonderful things. If you look at one side, it's wonderful. Then you look at Santo Domingo, is wonderful, or the Dominican Republic, and then you look at Haiti and then you wonder what happened. But it's the same thing I was telling you. It's just individuals in their star chart, the levels, they were just demoralizing certain individuals, and they didn't want to see an increase in the island because they just wanted to live a certain type of way, like, assassins or savages. So some of them was living like savages. Some of them was wonderful people, humane people that really care. And then some of them were just deterring individuals from getting into social secrecy of other individuals, so they were kept a certain type of way. So you got to know, it wasn't that some of the people were savages, it's just the way that they live. And then you had some that through time, they just ended up living like savages. So, they just for what it is, some of them is not savages, because if the island has a lot of fruits, it has a lot of vegetables. It's a wonderful island, but the natural anatomy of the matter that's forming the soil and prolong and the long time on the soil a certain type of way may have did certain things. So you got to be careful with certain things from coming from over there. But it's a wonderful island, beautiful. I had a wonderful time when I was there. Also, loving people. You had a lot of loving people that was different in the different parts of Haiti, that was socially wonderful. But you had individuals that, you know, if an individual knows I taught their star chart and they know they learned it from somewhere, the most vicious person most likely wanted to keep, it's like keeping a secret for themselves so they can manipulate through time for survival. So you got to look at the mentality of certain individuals. You got to have a viewpoint of a graph to know the reason why a person did certain things. But then you have individuals that are wonderful and then wanted to be different, but is more easier being bad than good in life. So the choices that individuals make, so you can imagine, it's just like that hurts my heart all the time to see Clash of the Titans, where you have individuals that wanted to go against the gods because they were learning certain things, and those were the population of individuals that just wanted to learn sacredcy, get into the depths of other individuals' sacred habitation, and then wanted to go to increase their third eye for power, and it was going to be destructive. And then you seen what happened on the overall with them, because the fact is they were even offering virgins to other individuals, even as sacrifice, like they didn't care, because other people, like I told you, the social vote, and then individuals trying to get into other people's sacredcy, and then you had children that just wanted to rule, and then or things that they wanted to do and accomplish. They manipulated empresses probably for habitation of powers or abilities, and then caused her to even get causing her to even get a divorce. Some of my wives with me. So was that showing you? Is showing you that another person wanted to manipulate and take over, and they didn't know nothing about the reason of existence. And so what they did probably was like falling the sides and just spying for how long, and then waiting for a time to strike when they feel like they got their hands or a social a handle on things in a time where they form their own social population. It's not a social gathering or a social economics, it's a social population. So, you know, you just got to look at the situations for what it is. And it's just like my wife. Some of them probably tired, not speaking to me a certain type of way, because I used to love enjoying conversations with my wife and love doing things for them. But you had people that was jealous and that knew that they were my real wife, so they try to deter me between me and my wife so they can manipulate the physical reality to gain favor in the physical reality, and then next thing you know, and then manipulate and demoralize the situation through time, and at the end living like a desperado or a person that's living vicariously, just cause they just don't care, because it's easier doing bad than it's easier to do the right thing to certain people, because those are the patterns that they set a certain type of way in life. But it should be more easier doing good things to be wonderful, and I'm one of them, so I should know after 30 something years. But you have people that's following me, a social population that's trying to demoralize my existence, and with individuals that love me because they just want to wear out the physical reality just to learn forms of sacredcy, and they just want to be in leadership because they felt that they've been at a level for such a certain time that they need a certain big change in their life. And then when you see that they make a certain changes, all they're doing is destroying, because they're not the origin that made any situation. So they're destroying it because they already wanted to break the rules. They wanted to break order. So when you break order and you break things that you don't know about because the stupidity of other individuals, it causes things to demoralize and fall apart, and then it causes the end of social habitation. So, you know, you got to be very careful with some of these people, because I know they've been in my life for like 30 something years doing the same thing to America, because remember, Haiti caught their independence before America, so a lot of places in third world countries and other places are jealous of the equality that it gained with Asia throughout paradigm of time, and then they just wanted their social revenue of their income, and also the things of technology that they had, so they could be able to survive and then cause certain things. And then you had certain islands that was third world countries that had technology, had certain things, but they were so loving, they knew how to share or give hand or give a hand out to the social habitation of the equality for their survival through time as they were getting educated in school and then try to keep their order through time, because it was more than a love gathering than a wrongdoing to individuals a certain way. Even though everybody goes through certain situations, but it was more of an overall looked upon as kept in order and orientation to individuals learning the reason of their sacredcy when it came to, say, their segregation a certain type of way. So it was more family orientated a certain way. But when you have a social economic system that overall teaches all, like the Olympics, and then you in America, it is more harder and difficult to keep everything a certain type of way, because you have individuals that's breaking order and breaking the rules and then living like an adventurous or vicariously, and then causing the detrimental end of the natural order in existence, and then the falling apart of other individuals' branches of existence. And then you have people that were such demoralizing as it caused divorces with me, my wife. You have fallen stars. So many people gathered, and because of demoralization and because of other people, it's just like I told you with the Catholic Church, when they do offerings, it's just like offering virgins that cause the demoralization to the physical reality, that cause fallen stars. And then next thing you know, after they knew that what they did was so wrong, that before they'd been disciplined, they start offering virgins and certain things to gain the sacredcy, and that's bad because it's messing up instead of doing better. So it's making the situation worse with certain other individuals. But individuals already done fell, and then some people that they've been doing things so long, it's like causing a depression, because they're coming from a high altitude, longitude, latitude, and being depressed and being pressed a certain type of way. It's like, and then the reason of survival, it causes demoralization and a stress. So it causes the reason of the offering is like, it's like a manipulation to make a person feel good, but they know they're taking that person away because they studied that person. Some people, man, they studied their opponent so much that they're just causing the end of the reality. And then you had stars that fell a long time ago, and through reconditioning, that just want to be vengeful about the physical reality of things that happen in the paradigm of time, and then going after ones that was up because they just want a position of power, because they want to go up, and then they go into the empress or go into other empresses and causing demoralization, trying to gain favor or trying to learn more, and then they're breaking rules and order, because the ones that survived is what's keeping the higher intellect up for the outer regard, and for the intellect, for the intelligence of the reason of one's journey. And then they just causing it to fall because another person doesn't care, because the way they lived for such a long time, and because what they did, and some of them was set to be a certain type of way because the oaths that they made in their light when it came time to their choice. So, other people's not going to tell you their rap sheet of the historical event. Some people, but that's how some people are. So you got to really think about all these things in a high view graph point, just to know what you're dealing with before it causes civil wars or world wars and stuff like that. I'm going through something with individuals in my social economics, and they're looking like the individual is playing me close from the different habitation, looking like they want to end the world because they don't care. But as a person that knows so much, that's living adventurous, that's being man-pleased by other individuals, and they just don't care because they're just trying to keep their height up. Most likely probably is a fallen star or individuals that know certain things, and they're thinking about their survival amongst other individuals and savages, and then they're picking to try to get back. They're probably trying to get back to what they were doing, but probably so much happened in such a way and connected to other people, complications. It's like an adventure, but their situation is really complicated. So their survival, trying to hold on to life to keep excitement so they can rejuvenate, is probably such a way that it just caused disorientation and demoralization and disorderly conduct. And then, it's dissing orderly conduct, the order of least conduct. So, the lenient conduct. So it's just causing a fall a certain type of way, and then you have those that is causing a rise a certain type of way because they don't want to be around the social habitation that wants to be like the Clash of the Titans, that want to vote against their gods and cause demoralization through time because they're not the original people that set the real order, but they just want to be a part of the original people because it's just like showboating or boasting, because what they want to do. So, you got to be very careful. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I know what I'm going through as an individual, but, you have a certain sect and social sect that's playing me close that know they continuously did wrong, and you don't see the increase in my life because they're causing forms of entrapment to come up with excuses, and then they want to point fingers at a person because, the demoralizing. And this is when it comes to international security and my caretakers, because they were supposed to care to make sure I'm all right, but they just gave an individual just enough to survive while everybody else just demoralizes everything that's highly, and then fall off because other people want to get into other things, and then they introduce them to other things or other social star charts or other endpoints of enlightenment of other inner points of enlightenment of other social star charts that causes the situations to happen that demoralizes situations at a time, and then it's just causing a fault. And then you have my wives, the ones that did demoralize such a way and that broke their oath, and it's going wrong, and they're so hateful in their heart, they don't want to see a person on top, and then they complicate in the social economic system, and they're trying to survive. So it's like an annoyance because they don't want to be reconditioned by individuals because they already did wrong, and then when individuals see their track record to the wrong that they did from the choices that they made and the oaths of honor that they broke and breaking the rules, then it's just like it's like a crab in a barrel with so many people. So I gotta be careful every day, and I've been surviving. So you already know Haiti didn't even want an individual being 40 years a certain type of way over there in the land. So you can imagine in America certain things are happening, they're mad, so they're gonna try to demoralize the social United States because individuals are gonna go at you can imagine they already showed you they didn't want their natural ruler, and then of certain other things, and then you see certain things happening another type of way somewhere else, then it is hurtful to them because now they're scared because they know what they did wrong, and then they don't want to be shunned out a certain type of way. So now they're strategically or tactically attacking a certain type of way and causing the end, and then other people doesn't want to get caught up in the habitation because what they're known for, and then them knowing high metaphysics and mythology in certain forms is very detrimental to the things that they're doing to people. So it's causing the end of good people that are just trying to survive to keep certain things up because they know the wrong that the other people that knows a detrimental end to certain mythology, metaphysics, and the wrong that they did in time that's trying to continue, because in the paradigm of time the truth remains the same. It just with time in the paradigm of time trying to demoralize it, and then the close sect that's trying to infiltrate or tactically go after individuals that's working towards it every day. And then, I haven't had children in a long time, but you could imagine how many people done got into other people's sacredcy, that done sex to other girls from other families, other social economic systems, other points of enlightenment that complicated other people's lives and caused so many fallen stars through time. And then they know they're the ones that were the leading ones that did it. You could imagine what's happening a certain type of way. The scared reality of a person's vindictiveness. It is coming upon them, and then they're looking at situations like they can't believe it. And then what they'll do to an individual, because a star chart of there was Aaron Light, Stoneman. I'm obligated to tell you this. And then there was orbit and orbit and rotate. There was the honor and honesty, the bird. You had the vital vein, the miracle. Then you had Mushu calendar. Then you had Columba. Then you can imagine the things that they did and the things that people that they're going after, because it's like a sect that they're probably working from the 6th calendar, from the vitalness, from the veins, from the 6th calendar down. So they're trying to keep an order a certain type of way, and then they're probably trying to get rid of the Mushu. They're probably colliding or coinciding with the fifth calendar, the birds, and then they're probably going after individuals on honor and honesty, orbit and rotation, stone men. They probably find that to be the easiest, and then air and light. And then you have a person, air and light was of supreme honesty, of love, and to do certain things, and then you have people turning into supervillains through time and trying to find reasons to demoralize or manipulate to even continue with their life a certain type of way. So it's such a complicated situation, and they all knew martial arts. So it's such a complicated situation with with life. You wouldn't believe it, especially with that calendar of era. This is why the calendar broke up and everybody had their own calendar within the calendar. So, there was that. I'm just talking about the era calendar. I don't got to tell you about the tykes. I don't got to tell you about other things. I don't got to tell you about other calendars, and other individuals that try to infiltrate other social economic calendars through time that try to demoralize it. It was a very complicated situation. And then the things I'm going through in my life, and then every day waking up fearful, and then you having people that want to see me, just coming through with elements, vibrating, doing the simplest things that you wouldn't believe, that's complicating the social economic habitation. And then it is incredible. I'm just gonna be real. I regard myself, but it is amazement. It is astonishing and amazement, and I'm in amazement of what the things that people are doing, and the mentality of demoralization that they have, of vindictiveness. It causes hateful emotions and hatred, and I'm parallel from that. So I'm the real love. So it's just like, I can't believe it. So it's just like this. Even the Scorpion calendar, my wives, it seems like they're gonna get a divorce sooner or later because they got into a certain social sect that they weren't supposed to get into, and started doing things like everybody else. And then look at what I fought in Umbach and all type of stuff just to keep things going. And then look at the things that's happening now. So, it's just like, because I told you, I went all the way to the end. Even the elephant had to carry, but I was like, and then look at the things that's happening now, and it's just like, I can't believe it. And then look what they did to the World Trade Center, and then them trying to demoralize Asia and China. Like, they tactically going after vital points that know is important to me. Like Asia, they tactically went after Asia, China, and they knew about certain things. So the things that they do, and then the Triple Crown calendar, the Triple Crown Galaxy, the Triple Crown calendar with Donta, Fuera, Lovely, Triple Crown China. Then you had Clinton, then you had Melissa, you had certain things, certain other individuals of the social sets, Ileana. You had other things that was different, a certain other type of way, and then things that people went after a certain type of way because they just wanted to know other people's point of secrecy, and then causes demoralization. It's like so much things through time. And then you have a person like with Donta's mentality, of course, the end of the world. Because she has the mentality of certain chicks like on DuckTales. It's just like Webigail. You see, I'm going to just say, it's just like Webigail. A person that's wanting to be a reporter just to tell a person secrecy because they just want, she just wanted my social economic system and setting this will cause demoralization because other things that happen, because she sees that she made wrong choices. And then a person just using her as a reporter like Lois Lane, this will cause demoralization and reporting everything that happens to men because they want currency and other things, and then they're maintaining what ending their reality and not caring. And then it's like a person that got Muslims to kill themselves for nothing. So you gotta be careful about. You got to be careful about certain other individuals, certain feminine beings that make certain choices through time. And it's kind of sad, but it's just the truth when you look at it, and then the survival rate and the way they look at survival. So you got to look at it as a graph, but it's sad to see the things that certain people cause. But hey, all I could do is just tell you about it. Some people want to see it for themselves because they're being vindictive, and some people, they could hear it and they know what I'm saying already, and they just rather go the honest and upright way so things could continue surviving to social equality for the future. But that's all I could say, Be careful. It's Sunday, December 15, 2019. Love one. That's all I can say.